how many people made this happen. But because of their support, their commitment, their passion for what we were doing, it has become what it is, but we're not done yet, and that's the remarkable thing. Not only are we going to be keeping on improving and doing other wonderful things here in our community, but what we are doing is inspiring other communities to take the extra step to put in facilities and to put in equipment and put in accessibility features that will let folks get back onto the water or back into any other recreation. Early on, we just had a small dream. Mr. Harold May owned the property that you're standing on, and this was his pole barn, and the other side of the tree over there was where his house was at. Bruce Nelson, who lives here on the hill, his mother, Virginia, and Harold owned this property, and Virginia had passed away, and Harold knew that he was dying of cancer. His heart said that he knew how limited access to the river was, and he came to the township and said, look, is there any way that you could buy my land and turn it into a community park? He said that would be his personal legacy, to know that people would forever have an access to the river here. So bless his heart, we took it upon ourselves to do whatever it took to make that happen. And it only took 4 or 5 years. It only took $150,000. It only took 3 dozen bake sales and a whole bunch of ink cartridge recycling and banging on doors and begging people for dollars. But we did it. And Jim Reinberg here, he was one of the first gentlemen I went to and said, what do you think of this? And so with his encouragement, we were stepping out of our comfort zone. We had no clue of what we're getting ourselves into. But Mayor Reinberg here of Fremont said, now Susan, don't worry, just do it. It's that good. So getting this land was the first step, but it was just land. It was empty. It was vacant. So we had to get together a creative team who could help us define it and redesign it into a park. So that took time. That took money. And then, we had to get more money to actually do the work. So more grants were written, more funding came into place. And along the way, we went to the DNR with an original grant idea, but they had changed the flavor of what they were doing. We were just going to do this nice little launch, and they said, oh, no, we're not doing standalone projects. We're doing collaboration, and we're doing trailways. So it's back to the drawing board, because we couldn't just fund a renovation. So as we're talking to Ada Linderman, if you will come here, please. Ada Linderman is a citizen of Bridgeton, but she's also the Fremont Director for Disability Network. And in talking with her about accessibility, we started brainstorming of how we could get people not just to the river, but on the river. And that meant into fishing boats, and that meant into kayaks and canoes. And that meant literally step down, easy, access down to the water line, rather than tripping and falling over, clumsy logs and dirt and so on. So we started brainstorming, and other people who got together with us, they're all looking for the same thing. And we discovered Easy Docks from Great Lakes Lifts and Docks in Carroll, Michigan. And that was the ember that lit the fire that made us realize what we could possibly do here. From there, we ended up collaborating with actually the DNR management, for they own the Maple Island launch. So suddenly we had a collaboration with a state level entity. We took over the management of the Maple Island boat launch. And by putting in these accessible docks here and also at Maple Island, we also had a trailways. So now we met the new recipe for applying for grants. And by divvying up the request, we approached the Fremont Foundation. They provided money for one of the Easy Docks. We approached the DNR, we approached Great Lakes Energy, and we also went to Land and Water Conservation. So together, again, it was a whole family of organizations that made this all possible. But the underlying feature is always the accessibility. Well, lo and behold, as we're planning our big celebration today, it comes to light that this weekend is the 25th anniversary of the acceptance of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that was huge to a number of people then, but since then, the standards of accessibility, whether it's in a public restroom or a public building or even a driveway, has made it easier for people to get in and out of various aspects of their life. So in commemoration and appreciation for that act, and the fact that our project exemplifies those standards. We have Mayor Reinberg, who's going to be presenting an ADA recommendation and commendation, and then we have other folks. We have Supervisor Michael Reagan. Where'd you go? Okay. We have Mayor Reinberg of Fremont. Is Mayor Fett here from Grant? Did he not make it? Okay. Commissioner?
Steve.
Come forward, sir.
Steve.
Okay. Steve Johnson. John Bumstead? He's running late?
Yeah.
Okay, well then Wayne, we might have to have you stand in for him, okay? You're just gonna tell him he agreed to whatever it was you said, okay?
The Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, was passed on July 26, 1990 to ensure the civil rights of citizens with disabilities, and whereas
The Township of Bridgeton,
the City of Fremont,
the City of Grant,
the County of Nuevo,
and the State of Michigan affirms the principles of equality and inclusion for persons with disabilities as set forth for the State of Michigan as embodied in the ADA, the laws of the state, and the ordinances of Bridgeton Township, and the City of Fremont, the City of Grant, and the County of Nuevo. And whereas numerous organizations throughout Nuevo County and State of Michigan work with constituents and communities to bring forth the promise of hope and freedom that is envisioned by the passage of the ADA, including the Disabilities Network of Michigan and Michigan Paralyzed Veterans of America. And whereas July 26, 2015 celebrates the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, we commemorate this act and celebrate accessibility opportunities for all citizens with the grand opening of the Bridgeton River Launch Park Waterways Trail event today on July 25th, 2015. Now, therefore,
the Supervisor of the Bridgeton Township,
as the Mayor of the City of Fremont, as the Mayor of the City of Grant,
as Commissioner of the County of Nuevo,
As representative of the State of Michigan legislator,
as representatives of Disability Network West Michigan,
and Michigan Paralyzed Veterans of America, we do hereby extend greetings and best wishes to all observing July 26, 2015 as Americans with Disabilities Act Awareness Day, and commend the community of Bridgeton for the implementation of their River Launch Park and Waterways Trail that will provide universally accessible recreational opportunities for all citizens. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Disability Network of West Michigan is pleased to present the 2015 Accessibility Award to the Bridgeton River Launch Park and Waterways Trail. We would like to thank Bridgeton Township Supervisor Michael Reagan, his wife Susan, their many friends and supporters for their insight and dedication to all persons in the community and to all those who may visit the park. We would also like to thank Bridgeton Township board members who give so much of their time, effort to make our community an inclusive vacation and recreation destination. The accessible boat, kayak, and canoe launch, as well as many other accessible amenities, make it possible for all to enjoy the beauty and serenity of our Nuevo County community. Thank you. And this is for...
Very nice.
Thank you.
thank you very much for all your work. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, that makes you humble. it's been a long road. We've stumbled, we've tripped, we've fallen, we've taken 20 steps back and plunged 10 more forward. We've had naysayers, we've had doom and gloomers, and then we'll have somebody call us up or stop us on the street and say, "You're the ones from Bridgeton doing this wonderful thing." And then we breathe and say, "Yeah, that's us. It is cool, and whatever it takes, we just want to get it done and get it done right." Again, the folks that helped us all along have been simply amazing. We have a few awards and a few certificates, if you'll just bear with us while we share those with you. Paulette and Randy Anderson have the River Rat Canoe Launch down almost across from the Maple Island Launch. They have been the defenders of the river, the defenders of the realm, the defenders of the community. If we needed $50, they give you 100. I mean, just pull it out of the pocket and say, whatever you need, do it, because they believed in what was happening here. And sadly, Paulette passed away last summer, and we lost a valiant warrior for our community. Randy and his family are carrying on with the livery. They have still the same dynamic perseverance and commitment. But they're also, as you can see, busy because of all the canoeing and kayaking today. So Randy couldn't be with us. But is Stephanie here? Okay, their daughter Stephanie was going to be coming. What we have, if you want to hand me one, what we have is we have some very, very creative people, and Jason Van Dusen designed this gorgeous logo, and we have adopted it for our Bridgeton Park. And then Graphica Signs took his creativity and put it on this beautiful monument sign out here at the corner, and we were just so tickled to be able to get that in. So my father-in-law, Don Reagan, also a gung-ho supporter of the community, made these lovely awards. So this first one is for Paulette and Randy Anderson and their family. On behalf of Bridgeton Township, we can't begin to thank them enough for their generosity and their ongoing commitment. So we sure and give them that one. Which leads us to Jason Van Dusen. Where you at, Jason? Don't give me that humble look. You know how great you are. Okay, so we're going to give you your own picture of your own logo, okay? And it says, "In appreciation for your valued contribution and support of the Bridgeton community and the River Launch Park and Waterways Trail Project." So I need a photo of this young man, please. Don't go away, okay? Steve Turner, are you here? Steve Turner. Okay, Steve Turner of Ashland Construction. He was a gift from God. There is no other way to put it. I literally sent out 100 or more letters suggesting to area contractors and businessmen that they come and help us. They didn't even say no. They just didn't answer at all. And so what we were up against is part of our in-kind portion of the project was leaving us with building the picnic shelter, and none of us are really contractors where we can hammer people and, you know, we can whack things together, but it isn't like we do this as a profession. I literally was just fumbling through something in my file drawer, and a business card fell into my hand backside up, and it had a scripture of integrity, honesty, and generosity. And I thought, well, whoever this is, I need to know them. I turned it over. It was Steve Turner of Ashland Construction, whom I'd never heard of. I have no idea how I got his card, except for as a gift from God. I called the man, and he's like, "Well, you know, I'm recovering from a broken back. However, I will be glad to help you." That struck me speechless, which, if anybody knows me, that's pretty hard to do. So I just said, "Well, okay, we'll do the work. You point and direct and, you know, orchestrate." So he did. And so we are in the throes of fall turning into winter. And we have a happy crew of Van Dusen families and other volunteers coming down in frigid weather, building the picnic shelter. Winter sets in, spring finally comes, but it's cold and frigid and freezy before they get the roof on. But the point is, this man with a broken back showed up, did the work, brought the tools, brought the expertise, and because of his encouragement and his commitment, we have a beautiful picnic shelter. So this one will be given to Mr. Steve Turner. Okay, what about John Lukes? Is he here? Oh, that's you, the guy with the sunglasses. Okay, cool. I see, I didn't recognize you from your picture. Okay, I'm going to hug this man first. Excuse me. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you. Okay, now don't go away. You get right over there by Jason if you will. Okay, Mr. Lukey's is another knight in shining armor. All the docs come in pieces and the invoices have parts lists. Well, I don't know a gizmo from a whatnot. So as we're going down, and we just pay the bill, and the assembly for the Maple Island came with the Bridgeton one, but we couldn't put them in all at the same time. So everything's just in storage, waiting to be installed. Well then, for whatever reason, I'm contacting the dock people, and I'm talking to them, and they're like, bench? What bench? And I'm like, well, you know, just like the one that we're putting in here, we've got this drop-down bench to get people in and out of fishing boats. And they're like, oops, we don't have one of those for you for the other dock. And I'm like, it's 3 weeks away, we gotta have one of these. And I'm having a meltdown, and I'm like, okay, no, we gotta do something about this. So in my mind, I see this building called Progressive Manufacturing that I've driven past for the last 15 years, always curious what they did. And a little voice said, call them. And I did. So Mr. Lukey's answers the phone. Come to find out he lives in Bridgeton. Come to find out he is a generous, compassionate soul who really felt sorry for us. He came down, looked at the dock, looked at the bench, and said, I can build you one of those. So he did. And not only did he build it, but he built it on evenings and weekends because he was so busy at his day job, he could only do it on evenings and weekends. And then he donated it to us. So thank you, kind sir. Thank you. You don't need a suit of armor, but you are wearing that white hat beautifully. Thank you, John. Okay, Ada Linderman, I'm going to bring you back up here again because you're not very tall, but you pack a mighty punch when it comes to getting things done, and that is always, always appreciated. We are doubly blessed because Ada is a resident of Bridgeton as well as a committed soul for getting accessibility opportunities for everybody. So please, Ada, accept this award on behalf of everyone here at Bridgeton.
Thank you so much.
Finally, we have one more. Chris Madison, wherever you are, sir.
Quit talking.
Back when we were talking to Mr. May about the land and we were, again, fumbling for the first time and even how to write grants and how to present grants and how to get all the right information in there, it really didn't matter what you did so much as how well you did it. And even then, it was who you knew that helped you get the information and the resources. Now, Chris, I can't talk to you from way down there. So, Chris, I won't say hornswoggled, but I kind of kidnapped him. I met him at a board meeting years ago. And I'm like, well, you're a new face. Certainly you should show up and start doing things. Well, I don't know if I just couldn't, he couldn't turn me down or what, but we got him busy in the planning commission and other things. But he's highly active in sportsmen's interest, including Michigan anglers. And because of his collaboration with Michigan Anglers, Michigan United Conservation Clubs, and other organizations like that, he was able to connect us with Great Lakes Fishery Trust. So together with funding from the DNR and from Great Lakes Fishery Trust, that was the key to buying this land, which let us do the rest of the story here. So Chris, we owe you a forever thank you. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
I'd like to start with Cindy Burkhauer. Would you share just for a moment who you are and what you do? Because I can't quite elaborate sufficiently. Tell us your story.
No, I have to have my heart first. Okay. Good morning. Good to see you. I'm Cindy Burkhauer, and I'm a recreation accessibility consultant, and the design of the Easy Launch product came out of our Kellogg Foundation grant called Access to Recreation. And then I had the opportunity to work with Bridgeton on their design and putting it all together. But I'll tell you, the first time Susan tried out an Easy Launch product, we had to stop filming because she was crying so hard because she was so excited that she would be able to get in and out of kayaks forever in her life. So this has been a great long time relationship and partnership, and I'm really, really excited to see you guys' project completely done. And I'm paddling today from here to Big Lyle. I got my kayak.
Awesome.
Already,
awesome.
so thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
It looks wonderful.
Okay, do we have, let's see, we have Tamara Juraski? This is your microphone moment, woman. Just jump right in there, okay?
Hi, Tamara Durkowski. I work with DNR Grants Management. So, just saying,
Right up there so they can hear.
say congratulations. You know, you started in this area a long time ago, and now you're realizing your dream. We provided assistance from a Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund and a Land and Water Conservation Fund grant. In all of our grant programs, we require at a minimum meeting ADA, but we actually incentivize people to do projects above and beyond ADA. And this is one example with EasyDock Launch, that you're providing people who may not have an opportunity. I know Michael and Susan were talking the other day, and they had people comment that, you know, they have to go an hour away, or this is the first time they've been able to take their parents canoeing or kayaking. So we're really trying to encourage that in our projects. Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund is actually modeled after the Land and Water Conservation Fund, which is a federal program. And with Trust Fund, we've awarded over $1 billion in grants to provide people access to parks and to create parks. And it takes a lot of work to get from that small bit to where you are today. So I want you guys to kind of give yourself a pat on the back, and thanks for allowing us to be here today.
Thank you. Okay, do we have anyone here from the Fremont Foundation? Hello? Nobody could make it today. All righty, we will be sure that they get their certificate. Okay, how about Great Lakes Energy? We had invited the gentleman from the corporate office, but I'm thinking Wayne might be willing to step in here for us. Can you give us a little background on how the Great Lakes Energy grant program works? Due to their generosity, we were able to have the money to buy the lumber to build the picnic shelter, so that was important to us.
Our People's Fund was started 15 years ago. And
Okay,
what
right up there.
the money comes from the change on your light bill. It's a volunteer organization. We've done over close to $3 million in gifts, grants to different organizations. Hesperia Fire Department, Newaygo Fire Department, and other ones. So it's been a good program, and people really give generously. So I'm not going to give them speeches, but
Well, that fills in the gap for us. We
okay.
appreciate that.
So my pleasure to be here today. So enjoy your day.
Okay, I'm going to have Chris pick up this other certificate. This is for the Michigan Anglers Association. They have been with us for the long haul. They have sponsored us, they've helped us, they've supported us, they've donated. In fact, they're underwriting to a great degree the what channel? I'm sorry.
DSE.
DSE, okay. Digital Spectrum Enterprises is doing a broadcast of our project today. And so the Michigan Anglers has donated considerably to help sponsor that effort. Muskegon River Watershed. Oh, here he comes. Wayne Grosbeck. This man, he doesn't talk any more than I do, so we're going to give him the microphone anyway. I need the hug first.
Oh.
When this project started, I was younger. The Muskegon River Watershed Assembly is the only organization that's exclusively dedicated to the protection, the preservation, and the restoration and the sustainable use of the Muskegon River, the land it drains, and the life it supports. And I like coming here because the Bridgeton community, they're my activists. They keep stirring the pot, they keep coming up with new ideas. And there's nobody in the 217 miles of that river that respects and appreciates that river more than the Bridgeton folks. And I've got a little news bulletin for you. We had a study done by University of Michigan academics. The study was what the effect would be of reopening the Maple River. And as academic studies go, this is the 4th year of a 3-year study. And we just got the results of that back, and pretty soon we'll be having a meeting and discussing what the ramifications of that might be and the pros and cons. But I want to thank the Bridgeton community for what they've done for our river. Thank you very much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lakeshore Signs. Lakeshore Signs are responsible for the large sign inside the pavilion that gives you a direction, gives you all kinds of information, gives you some history of Bridgeton Township. And if you get a chance, you really got to go down and see it. We're getting a lot of great comments on it. And it's really neat to see. It's up on an angle. It's for everybody to see, and it really is.
Designed by Jason Van Dusen.
Designed by Jason, and Jason's kind of been involved in a lot of stuff. But you need to look at it because and we're getting a lot of good compliments on it. It's protected by the weather. It's up in the air. We intend that to be there for quite a long time. And I don't know if Brian Scarborough is here or not.
He couldn't.
Brian couldn't make it. Okay,
Graphica Signs.
Signs and Designs, Sandy and Serial. I don't know if they're here either. They took Jason's design and put it together and gave us a beautiful sign for the launch. And I'm sure everybody sees that now, and it sticks out real well. It's a great sign, great design. So that's an appreciation for them.
Yeah, just do Wayne.
Wayne has already got one, but Warren, and that helped us, and he's also a supporter. He's been a supporter. He's here a lot of times when John isn't.
Okay, bring him up here so you can get
So Wayne, you get to get another one.
You get this one. Yeah,
Yep.
this
One's
is
for John, one's for you.
No speech.
Huh?
No
No
speech,
speech this time.
no
No,
speech.
another one. Okay. Yeah, one for you, one for John.
Jim Reinberg, Mayor of Fremont. Jim is kind of a hangout person. He stops by, he says hello, he supports us all the time. He gave us letters of support for doing the grant, along with a lot of other people.
We appreciate you.
And so we appreciate his support. And once again, he was here helping us with the ADA presentation. So thank you.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Okay, and he's going to speak for a little bit.
Just a little bit. I got a wonderful proclamation to recommit to full implementation of the ADA. On July 26, 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed into law the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, to ensure the civil rights of people with disabilities. This legislation established a clear and comprehensive national mandate for the elimination of discrimination against individuals with disabilities. On July 2nd, 2015, we will celebrate the 25th anniversary of the signing of the ADA. The ADA has expanded opportunities for Americans with disabilities by reducing barriers and changing perceptions and increasing full participation in community life. However, the full promise of ADA will only be reached if we remain committed to continue our efforts to fully implement the ADA. On the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, I, James M. Reinberg, Mayor, City of Fremont, Michigan, celebrate and recognize the progress that has been made by reaffirming the principles of equality and inclusion and recommitting our efforts to reach full ADA compliance. Now therefore I, James M. Reinberg, Mayor, City of Fremont, Michigan, do hereby reaffirm to continue to work toward full ADA compliance. Thank you.
We had Michael Harris, Paralyzed Veterans of America, the Michigan branch, and Rick Briggs, the Brain Injury Association. They've both been exceptional supporters of what we are doing, but also for all the disabled veterans and the injured veterans who are having difficulty getting back into their normal occupations and recreation. So we met them through the Hooking Up Heroes event at the Newaygo State Park a few years ago, and they have just been awesome in their support of what we're doing, and they commend and celebrate with us. Finally, we have our local heroes. As I call your name, please come forward and stick around for a moment here because we'd like to give you your certificates too. Gloria Bizette. Gloria. Bob and Diane Van Dusen. Diane. Where's Bob?
Bob's not working out there.
Well, okay, you come up for him then. He doesn't like you. Huh?
I can go get him. He can come up.
Okay, well, you can do that. Okay. Gloria and Bob and Diane Van Dusen have all been with this project from the beginning. Literally, where you stand in 2004 is where this all began. So it's amazing that we have the same group of loyal folks who've been hanging in there with us. Donna Madison. Donna, where are you at? Oh, she's out there wearing a vest. We'll grab her too. Luann Erb, is she over there? Well, okay, do it slowly. Watch for holes in the ground. She broke her foot the other day. That was how she got out of work for the weekend. Tony Elvesteffer. Denise and Aiden Van Donkler. Someplace?
They're gone.
Oh, they're gone. Okay. Greg Reed. Tom Hamilton.
Standing in the shade. A lot nicer in the shade.
And Caleb Aarons. I don't think Caleb was able to come. When you go down to the picnic shelter, I want you to admire the wooden tables down there and heft them if you can, because you can't. They weigh a ton. This young man in his senior year of high school saw the plan, saw the design, saw what we were doing, and he was so impressed, he said he wanted to do something for us as a community. So he took upon himself for his Eagle Scout award effort to build us these big, beautiful wooden, I think they're actually cedar, picnic tables. And then when he realized that one of them needed to be ADA, he designed it for that too. So you'll see these beautiful wooden picnic tables down there, and you just need to know that this younger generation has sight and vision and heart and compassion, and the more that we as a community can encourage that, then we know that the next generation is going to have a good handle on things. But we do have an award for Caleb. This is our loyal crew of merry workers. I mean, Len used to be up here. Come on.
Come on. Jim, get up here. Jim. Come on, Jim.
Come
Well,
on,
yeah, we got board members coming here, so. Yeah, these are the citizen volunteers. None of them get anything but satisfaction out of the deal. And criticism, yeah, they get a little bit of that too. But, you know, the girders out there, they did that. The picnic shelter, they did that. The landscape, the lawn, the mowing, they did that. Picking up the trash, they did that. And only because they love and love and love what they do here and the results of what they do. So, thank you. All right. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of this, I don't like this. A lot of this can't happen without board members. And believe it or not, even though sometimes they get grumpy about things and don't want to do certain things, that doesn't mean that they don't want it done. That means that they have a right to their opinion, and that's their whole concern is the township and its function. So it's not just this, it's the hall and everything else. So that's how they help. Now, you've got Dan Schooley, who I think is at a family reunion, all right? You got Carolyn Drake. Carolyn. You got Bruce Nelson.
Read that about him.
Bruce is one thing about Bruce, you gotta understand, we're standing, you gotta understand, well, some of you are actually in his house. This is where he grew up, this is his family's property, and his family helped us a lot and got us where we are today. And Bruce is always down here helping, and he's kind of the guard over the landing, because obviously he lives right there, so
He can see what's happening.
he knows what's happening. And every once in a while he'll call and say, "You can't believe what they're doing down there." And he worries about it too. He also comes down here and picks up the garbage. And every board member that drives through any of the landings are doing the same thing. They're not asked to do it, they're not told to do that, they just do that because they are elected to an office and they take it seriously. Now, Jim. Now, I need you to come up here. Now, let's talk about Jim for a
Let
minute.
me get up here by the speaker.
Okay.
I can say what I think. No?
Okay, let's talk about Jim for a minute. Now, Jim grew up or he worked in construction all his life. Who do you think is the push on these projects? And rightfully so. He knows how to get us organized. He knows how to push our buttons to get us moving faster. But he's a workhorse, and he always has been. It's people like Jim, and there's several other ones, that you couldn't get things done without him. And he takes it upon himself to do it. And he's good with his hands, and it works real well. Now we also have to talk about the man with the eye, and that's Randy Erb, that helped us on the guardrail. All these board members
I know I've been a pain
and
in everybody's ass.
public servants are the ones that carry the torch for the township, and not because they're just elected, but because that's what they want to do. They're citizens of this township. So they need a good hand. Thank you. Now I'd like to say one other thing before we move on. Bridgeton Township is a population of about 2,000. This park is the direct result of the citizens of Bridgeton Township. There are numerous people that stopped by and helped for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Bridgeton Township is full of engineers, architects, farmers, factory workers, carpenters, hard-working, smart people who happen to be on one of the first or original trails in the state of Michigan. This is a real trail, not a bike trail, the real trail. This is what they do, this is what they support, this is what they swim on, and this is why it is so important to us to keep this and be good servants of this community for the river and the land that surrounds it. That's truly humbling to have this. It's amazing. It's amazing to have people that don't even know what they're doing offer to help you when you're working on something. It's an honor to have that. And believe me, I believe I can speak for the board. It humbles us every time it happens. So thank you, all of you that have helped, or showed up, or donated money. It all is important to us. $1 or $100, 15 minutes or 8 hours. So thank you very much.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, go ahead.
Before I do, because you know how I am. You have to get right up to it there.
Yes, I would like to say that we are not completed with this project yet. And if anybody out there knows somebody that can help, it's...
We're always open for volunteers.
Yes,
yeah.
we need help. We just still need help.
All right, well, we're getting ready to go down. What we want to do is, if you've seen some of these streamers, okay, if you've ever dropped $2 in the bin over there, if you've ever bought a cookbook, if you've ever showed up at any of our fundraising, you are a citizen of support. So we want you to go get a yellow ribbon from over there. If you are representing government offices, state, local, county, whoever, get an orange ribbon. If you are a funding entity or a funding supporter, get a green ribbon. And the idea is, just like it takes a village to do the whole thing, this whole community requires everybody to chip in. So we want you to all get your ribbons, follow us down to the shoreline. We're going to stretch 3 colored streamers the full length, and everyone's going to tie their streamer on there, and I want to see all these faces and all these ribbons representing all of the wonderful people that made this possible. So join us down below. Thank you.
Well, as you can see, this is a tubers destination. This is our pedestrian ramp. Regardless of how high or how low the water gets during the season, this allows people to very gently go down the terrace steps and into the water. Tubers, this is their specific spot because then they're not competing with the boaters or with the kayaks. And it also makes it family friendly for little people who are trying to get in and out of the water. This is our amazing Easy Dock. This is pretty much the inspiration for everything else we did here. The ability to get in and out of the water safely on a dry dock has been an amazing opportunity for families with children, folks with mobility problems, bad hips, bad necks, bad knees, bringing your grandparents, your parents down to finally let them get in and out of canoes and kayaks. The especially remarkable features includes the wheelchair transfer bench. And I have Cindy Burkhauer here if she'd like to share a little bit with us.
Sit down here. You're going to slide out the bottom tray. Yep, there you go. Slide it all the way out. All the way. There you go. Slide your butt over on it. Good. Get your feet in. Drop into the seat. Now close the shelf. There's a yellow handle on it there. Can you reach that? Yep, just pull that shut. Nice job. Okay, you got your paddle tucked in, so you're gonna reach across, hold the side bars, the silver bars on your side, and that's gonna pull you right out. Good job. All right, when you get right here at the end, sit real still, okay? Now pull your kayak paddle out. And you are ready to go. Turn it over, it's upside down. End for end, yeah, side, other way. There you go. Now put the words toward you. There you go. Okay, good job. You did it. That was awesome. That's what I like. I like to see kids go. I like to see adults go that know what they're doing, that don't. You got a canoe going in. That's awesome. So Tyler, you're going to want to go straight into the chute and straighten it out. Get your nose straight in the chute. Hard, 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 hard. There you go. All right. All right, hook your paddle. Hook your paddle under your thing. There you go. Now pull up. Keep going. Go all the way past the bench. And then pull out the shelf again. It's the bottom strap. Pull it out behind you. Good job. All the way over. Awesome. Now put your hands up on it like this in the back. Whoop. And pop your butt up. There you go. Get your feet out. Slide over. Awesome. Good job. To be able to board into a boat that is docked up here, tied up here. So we designed a boarding bench. It sits up like this until somebody needs it. It's on a hinge. These feet actually go into the boat on that side. So the person would roll up or walk up, same thing, same principle. Sit down, move over, and the height of this is to be at transferable height for somebody in a chair. So they can do this, then they move over, and then you have to get down level with where your boat is. So you're down here, and then you slide out on the board, and it's on an angle so that you're able to get right down in your boat. And then they just pick it back up and close it back up. When you come back, put it down, get over onto here, slide up, and then you're able to slide up that transfer, move again, slide up, move your legs over, and your wheelchair, there's room here for the wheelchair to go, so somebody then could transfer right into their wheelchair, like that. Or somebody like me could walk up, sit down, scoot over, and slide down into the boat. So that's how this works.
Hi, I'm Susan Reagan, Deputy Supervisor for Bridgeton Township, and I'd like to introduce Ada Linderman, and she will explain the disabilities program that she's involved with.
We are a Center for Independent Living. Our main office is in Muskegon. We offer 4 core services, and we also offer a transportation voucher program in Newaygo County. I have with me my executive director. She's our new executive director, Tamara Collier. Dana Pittman, who is our community support specialist. This is Vicki Como. She's transportation coordinator for Newaygo County. And we're all here to support the ADA today.
So at Disability Network in Muskegon, we have 12 staff who are working in the community. We work with transitioning folks from a nursing home. We assist youth who are transitioning into adulthood. And we also work with any disability. So you don't have to have a medical certificate. You just come in and tell us that you need some help, and we're happy to help you navigate life.
Well, right now we are heading a campaign at Pere Marquette Beach to have an accessible walkway, and we're selling the planks for that. You can get an engraved plank. We are also having another upcoming picnic celebrating the ADA at Marsh Field on August 4th from 11 to 3. And we're looking forward to everybody coming out and seeing us there.
Hello, I would like to introduce Pixie Stevens and Ryan Kaufman from the Empowerment Network. They're here visiting us to support the ADA today. They came up to check out what we were doing here at the Accessible Boat Launch in Bridgeton Township. Would you like to say hi, Pixie?
Hello.
Ryan, you want to tell me what you do with the Empowerment Network?
Yes, I work as a part of the intern staff team at Empowerment, and Ada has stopped in and told us about the Bridgeton water accessibility for handicapped people, and we are thinking of going around in the county and looking for spots that can be more accessible to people with disabilities. And it's about the same thing we do at Empowerment, so that's why she came in and she asked if people would be involved with it, and I am, and so is Pixie Stevens, and that's kind of what I do.
Tamara Jerkowski with DNR Grants Management. Our focus has been with providing Bridgeton Township with funding from the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund and Land and Water Conservation Fund. We fund recreational grants for acquisition or development of park property. And we've shifted a lot of our focus to creating priorities and incentivizing projects that go above and beyond ADA, so universally accessible projects. This project here is a good example for other communities to see how not only have they collaborated with other communities, people within their area, but also how they're providing access for everybody regardless of abilities, and a well-used site by a lot of people. We recognize the importance of all of our water resources in Michigan. It actually is a priority with Trust Fund Board to fund trails regardless of their non-motorized trails or waterways. So getting people to come out of all ages, all abilities, families, to traverse all those resources and provide access points for them to be able to get one place to another. If you want to find out more about the programs that we offer, you can go to www.michigan.gov
CIF.org/DNR. And there is a link to the grants website on the left-hand side of the page.
Okay, I'd like to introduce the Bridgeton Township Board as well as Chris Madison from the Planning Commission. One of our board members, Dan Schooley, was unable to attend today, but I'd like to introduce first Bruce Nelson. And if we can just kind of go around and introduce yourself, your participation, and your interest in the project.
Yeah, I'm Bruce Nelson. I was born and raised here at this site, and I've seen quite a few things over the years. My folks finally give it up to the township, sold it to the township, with the idea that we would make a nice park out of it for the people to enjoy. And we finally made that happen with the help from neighbors and friends of the township, and of course the township board and all of us, and I think we did a very good job. And to my left is Carolyn Drake. She's the township clerk, and we'll see what she has to say about it.
Okay, Carolyn, take it away.
Not a whole lot. I am Carolyn Drake, the township clerk, have been for many years. It's been a long process. There's been a lot of, drawbacks and a lot of things that we didn't plan on happening that happened that put us behind, but I'm thankful that it's gotten this far, and we got a ways to go yet, but it's all working out, and I'm happy that we're this far. Thank you. Jim Scheidemann, trustee.
Jim the Troublemaker Scheidemann, I guess I should call me. Anyway, yeah, I grew up on the river. I kind of fought this project from the beginning. I'm glad it turned out like it did. I want to see this river clean up. There's a lot of stuff that I'm really want to see happen to the river for my next generations. And that's my main concern about this whole launch. I've worked hard to try to help it do what it's doing, and I'm thinking that it will pay for itself. So, Chris Madison.
Thanks, Jim. Chris Madison is my name. I'm on the Planning Commission. What to say? When you look out over the park that we have here now, it's just kind of amazing seeing the quality of what the volunteers of this township have done. It's been a lot of hard labor. There's been a lot of angst involved because it is hard labor and it is a lot of work from top to bottom. I'll give Sue Reagan some kudos here. It was her vision that got this started, and without that vision and that push, this wouldn't be here today. And I think all of us would agree this is quite a benefit to the township. We're now somebody on the map, so to speak, and people are glad to come to our meetings and talk to us. So, quite proud to be associated with it. Mr. Reagan?
This is true township government. That's how the government started. They used the British approach to a township to serve the people. It's not just the landing and the people, but this is what we're all here for. But it's how we put it together. It's the meal deals. It's the running of the hall. The township is basically truly what it should be, and for the people, a place to gather, a place to have a good time. But it's hard work. You can't do this when you do it this way. It's hard work. If you don't want to do anything, don't do anything. But this board and this township and its people decided to make us what we are, and we have to appreciate that.
Well, I guess I get the last word. I think what's pretty amazing is that you can live next door to somebody all your life and never really know them until you start getting things put together. Who am I? Well, sometimes that's a difficult answer. Deputy supervisor, wife of Michael Reagan, committed citizen that doesn't know how to say no or doesn't know how to quit. And I discourage anyone else from quitting either, so that would be the encouraging word that I try to share. But like I said, you could live next door to everybody and never know them until you find something that is of common interest, and then not just interest but passion, and not but just passion but follow through, and lighting that fire of inspiration and getting that cooperation. Suddenly a very few people can do a very big thing, and I think that's what we've all done here in Bridgeton. Thank you.
Hello there, my name is Tom Hamilton. I'm with the Michigan Anglers Association. We're based out of Muskegon. And Michigan Anglers Association is a wide range of activities for community fishing related events and other sportsman events. I'm accepting this today at the Bridgeton Township ceremony for the accessibility walk, and they're on behalf of the Michigan Anglers. Because I said they were so community involved, they are now down in Holland doing a fish pond for that community. This is typical of their activities, doing trout ponds for kids all over, taking kids fishing, doing a community event of fish cleaning for the community food bank, salmon, lake trout, steelhead, helping with fishing contests. They do many fundraising projects, and that money is donated. Some of that money was donated up here to Bridgeton Township to help out with their project up here today. And then also they donated some trees to be planted in memory for the future generations to enjoy this beautiful park. And that is what the Michigan Anglers do. They love the Muskegon River, and they help on as many projects as they can. As typical with all these organizations, we are open for membership, and people would like to go fishing and then help the future generations be able to enjoy the fishery that we have today. The Anglers Group has been involved with the walleye program. We have net pens with the Michigan DNR raising Chinook salmon. Been doing that for several years. It's just anything involved with the community, and those projects coming up we don't even know yet, but we'll help out. I appreciate everything that Bridgeton Township has done for the river, and the Michigan Anglers will take advantage of this up here and use the facility themselves. Thank you.
Well, welcome to our picnic shelter. This was part of our original interest, was to provide a place in the shade, a place to rest, a place to have a snack or a picnic, and the best way to do that was to put it up out of the roll of traffic and yet close to the restrooms and close to the access. So as part of our original project, the funding fell short as far as what we could do with the money we had to work with. So this became part of the project that was purely done by volunteers. It was designed by a volunteer architect. It was constructed by a volunteer construction company, Ashland Construction Company, and it was actually built by a volunteer crew of workers. Behind me here we have cedar-sided. We have these amazing panels up above. The one up above us here is the Bridgeton history, the lumber era history of what actually created and settled our community. On the far side, we have an entire map from Newaygo on down past Maple Island, and it lets people see how the in and outs of the various access lets them float for 2 hours or 30 minutes or 5 hours or however far along it goes. The construction of it was a real blessing because, again, it was provided by a completely crew of volunteers. And they were out here in just unbelievable weathers, but dedicated to getting the job done. Michael?
Well, a little bit about the construction, I guess. This was a flattened area for the purpose of the pavilion, but what you find is in October and November we put it up, and I didn't do a lot of the work, but we have pictures of before and after. And it goes back to the philosophy of the township to start out with and how the township started. It started with people putting up barns and people putting up pole buildings, and that's exactly what it is. What's interesting is how people are amazed when they look at the maps, because they actually start picking out animals and birds they've seen. They pick out areas where they put in the river. They pick out areas where they live or have been. So it becomes more of a kind of a memory or a museum for them. And I'm noticing people are sitting here and relaxing and waiting for their turn into the river, using the restroom facilities, having a cold pop. So it's a good time, and it's barrier-free accessible. We have the ramp, and we have the walkway up there. We have the barrier-free restroom, and you can see where we've got a barrier-free picnic table here that was donated from Disability Connections, and then you also have a barrier-free picnic table where they can actually roll underneath the picnic table. It's all about universal accessibility, so they have a pavilion they can use that's barrier-free, they have a ramp to get up that's barrier-free, and they can get on a dock and get in the water, and the platform's barrier-free. So it meets all our goals and missions that we've had for several years, giving the river back to the people that haven't had a chance to use it. And anything else?
Well, there aren't sufficient words to say how proud we are of what we've accomplished. We could never do it in any standalone meeting. It's definitely all the volunteers, all the people involved. And it will be a legacy that we can all be proud of for generations to come. Thank you.